All right, it's go time.
It is go
I
time.
am gonna do one thing real fast, even though I said
Man,
I wouldn't
Brad,
do it. I do
we're
want to do
live
it,
right now.
and I want to see it on the. Look, there it is on the internet. Last time I did that, I didn't turn my phone down. It was
Yes, it was really weird.
sweet. What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I'm Sean, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and today we're talking about the series finale of WandaVision. But first off, we got a special guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself before I go ahead and introduce you for yourself?
I'm Javier, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today, Javier. I know you're a huge Marvel MCU fan, and I've been dying to get you on here, so I'm excited. First off, I have a question for you. Do you think that a piece of Wanda's vision lives in the newly created White Vision that we got in this episode?
I think it does, because clearly from their whole battle scene, whatever, and then like immediate pause, and then like he just touched him, and it was like, oh, memory back, like,
Yeah.
and then like disappears, and I'm just like, where did you go? Like that, I don't know. That was just a weird thing, but I honestly think that kind of opened a whole nother dimension of like, okay, he's answering for questions, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely opened up a lot of possibilities. I don't know what.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But all right, you got anything for us?
No, yeah. I have a question. So kind of sets up my first question. Where do you think White Vision disappeared to?
Oh man. I'll go ahead and take that one. I think that he's just going to. I don't really know. I honestly, to just because I would say he's going to find answers, but what I mean, he has the memories of Vision. Maybe he's just going off and sulking somewhere. I don't know, or he's just pulling a Thor in Avengers. Which one was that? Age of Ultron, and he's just got to go sit in a pool of water. I don't know, but Brad, are you upset that they took your legal name with Evan Peters' character in Ralph Boner?
Yeah, well, that's the spelling that I use, but I pronounce it Bonaire. It's got a little French flair, and then when people sometimes will say, people say Bonner more than they say Boner, which is surprising. You would think it'd be more Boner than Bonner, but I always very politely just kind of cut them off and say it's Bonaire.
Gotcha. So you didn't have to lawyer up for this one.
No, not like when they used my likeness on the witches' faces.
Man, they just really like you.
Yeah. Hey, Javier, question for you, sir.
Yes.
It's nice to meet you for the first time ever.
Yes, of course.
What? I will not inject my opinion, but the fact is that it's a question is probably going to give my opinion of it. Did you think that there was a little too much cheese in the first half of this episode?
Yeah, I mean, with the Wizard of Oz reference, with all of that, that was an interesting segue. I was like, I get it, but I was like, I don't really think it was necessary. I mean, I get she's the witch of it, but like, I mean, it was funny, and it was a kind of fun way to like incorporate that like modern arty movies into like the superhero realm, and I'm like, interesting. I see what they did there, but I was like, I don't really think it was needed to to explore the plot a little bit, but
yeah.
We'll leave that one.
So I have my question is, does the final credit scene set up Wanda as the villain in Doctor Strange 2?
The final credit scene, which I almost missed. I almost missed both of them, actually. I think that scene is really open to interpretation. I still don't know what I watched at the end. I'm just gonna say no to your directly to that, but it like I said, I'm not really sure what I saw. My original interpretation was that basically she was studying up on that, but she was also like living a life. Is that what you guys got too?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say no to the villain part of that. That's my answer to that. Sean, your thoughts on the CGI in this episode and the series as a whole? I mean, this isn't a movie, so they're gonna have to back off a little bit. But what are your thoughts on the CGI On the whole, yeah.
As a whole, for a TV show, it was really good.
TV.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, but I would say it's a little out of place with the rest of the MCU. The broader MCU. Like Vision, for example, just he looked off in this show compared to the movies. So I'll give him a pass because it's some of the best that I've seen in a show, episodic show. It's some of the best that I've seen. So I'll give him a pass there, but it could have been better. But I understand budgets are probably lower. And they just got to do what they can with what they got. So, Javier, is Agatha still in this trance state after Westview goes away? I'm confused. So I'm a little confused there because she put her back in that, but then she closed off everything that they were doing.
I think I'm guessing what would probably be a thing is Wanda gave her the character that she in her show to give her. But I feel like there's the outward appearance is the nosy neighbor, but I feel like Agatha is truly still like inside of the character per se and trying to fight her way out. So I'm thinking of it more of like trying to think is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's the good side, but then there's always that bad side coming out, like Bruce Banner and Hulk. They're trying to fight for dominance, but I feel like that will be a kind of a pivotal thing because in the end, she just said, Agatha's like, you need me. I was like, well, when I need you, I'll come find you, and then turned back to a nosy neighbor. So I think Agatha will return, but I don't know. She will probably be like nosy neighbor, and then Agatha will be like she'll take her out of that trance.
I don't think she needs her at all after considering what she's doing in that cabin. I don't think she needs her at all. I think she's got everything she needs right there. She's speed reading and probably just casting spells in the mountains. I don't know what the point of her would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sean, wait, actually no, I'm sorry. Javier, were you expecting more from Monica?
A little bit. I don't know. It was weird. I mean, I was kind of confused on her character a little bit when she was first introduced in episode 4, when like she was blipped out. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Because I saw this thing. It was like people are like, watch it with the subtitles. Because apparently there's like you hear like Captain Marvel's voice, you hear her mom's voice, things like that. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then I don't know. It was just weird because like everyone was like, she's gonna get powers, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then she got powers, but I was expecting her to be more of like a kind of, she was fighting back against, Hayward and things like that. But I feel like she should have not been dismissive a little bit. I think she should have been more involved with the plot, kind of sort of like we should have saw her from A up to now more frequently. We only get like snippets of her or nothing at all, So I think she should have been more involved with like trying to find ways to prove to Wanda that she's not the enemy and she's actually here to help. But they didn't really give her that role.
I kept waiting for her to fight.
Yeah,
she did nothing. She took some bullets, helped protect the kids, which was very useful. But then she was out of the rest of the episode. That was it. I was definitely underwhelmed by the way they used her, and I was really excited about her as a character.
Let me see. Do you think Wanda will make a cameo in Spider-Man 3?
Is that going to me?
Whoever wants to take Sean, yeah, you take it.
All right.
Take it.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say maybe in the after credits scene, but I don't think that she is gonna be. Actually, okay, I'll give you a cameo. Sorry, I'll give you a cameo. I don't think she's going to be a major part of it. I think that they'll continue to focus more on that Spider-Man character, and they don't want her to outshine him, I'd say, in that movie. But I'll give her a cameo. There's lots of rumors about what's going on in Spider-Man 3. I'm very excited. He's one of my all-time favorite superheroes. So I would go with the Doctor Strange cameo over a Wanda cameo, or Scarlet Witch, excuse me. So my last question, it's going to you, Brad. Was the pacing specifically at the beginning of the episode jarring for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, you asked specifically for the episode. I was hoping you were going to ask for the series. I feel like the pace of the episode mirrored the pace of the series. I think they sort of. I said this in the last one. I think they sort of botched the balance of the series. I thought they spent a lot of time building. I'm going to answer a question that you didn't ask instead of the question you asked. I'm going to be a politician. They should have squished this plot backwards into the show. I feel like they spent. I feel like they were like, we gotta create something so strange that they'll keep coming back. They'll keep coming back for episode 4 and 5, and they spent all this time building mystery. Why not just have 12 episodes? I would have watched all 12. Would you guys have watched all 12? I would. Yeah. So it's like I like going through the beginning and first half of the series, I was like, this is perfect pacing. But when you realize that now that we can look backwards on it and be like, dang, it's like all plot and exposition in the last 2 episodes, and just like kind of wrap it up as quick as we can. As far as the episode itself, there was just too much in it, just like the last episode. Like, I wanted to see more about what was going on with Boner,
Yeah.
And I wanted to see
White Vision just flew in there.
Yeah. White Vision was like, he's like, bye. That's it. I don't know. I don't have a first, like, I can't even make just any kind of guess as to where he went. I'm glad I didn't get that question, because you were just going to get from me, I don't know. And that was going to be all I was going to say. I don't understand. I thought he was going to get, I thought he was going to, that was him, like, in the mountains. I didn't see the cabin right away. I was like, oh, White Vision is kicking it in the snow, and, like, learning about himself or whatever. It sounds actually kind of nice, I'm not going to lie. But, and then it was Wanda, which was fine. But, yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question directly, but that's what you're getting.
I'll take it.
You should. That's all you're getting. I'm gonna hijack. Is that all the questions everybody has written?
I have one on the fly, actually.
All right, go ahead.
Brad, what do you think of Wanda's costume at the end of?
So that was actually one of my questions that I didn't decide to do. I thought, and I did jump on Google at the end of the episode and check out Scarlet Witch, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, this reminds me of my very thin memory of, like, Scarlet Witch being in X-Men, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was perfect. That was me. I thought it was exactly what we wanted. Like, she's supposed to be. Isn't she kind of? Does she, like? I don't know the mythology that well. Does she toe the line, or is she just good? Do y'all know? I don't really know.
I'd say she's good.
Yeah,
but I mean, she definitely has done some questionable things. I don't know. But
I'm talking about as Scarlet Witch, in the X-Men, mythology and the Marvel backstory. I don't really know. But anyway, I thought she looked perfect to be this kind of really horrifying hero. And I think that they have the perfect person to play her. I've always been a fan since the second she came on. Elizabeth Olsen took that role. I never even knew of her really before that, other than being the extra sister in that family. But I think she's great, and Sean knows that she's one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I'm a big fan. I like the costume. All right, I'm gonna take over for a second. We're 14 minutes in. I think we have enough time because we still have to give our thumbs at the end. I'm thinking we'll do series. Son, are we doing series thumbs instead
Well,
of
let's
episode?
give an episode to finish off, and then we can tack on series.
Okay, but I want to ask, really quick. We got to go like round robin on this, but I want to know everybody's favorite. You can do the series. I was gonna do episode, but like favorite. I'm gonna do my answers for like your favorite scene or part, the coolest thing that you remember from the series. Just Javier, you can go first, or if you're ready.
Now come back to me. I gotta think.
I'll go. So I don't know. I mean, coolest. I mean, I liked the Visions fighting, but I'd say my favorite moment of the show was when they flashbacked to Wanda and Vision talking in the Avengers facility, because it really, I mean, it was a deep conversation, good writing there, where Vision's talking about grief, and it just really humanizes his character, and it shows their relationship and why they kind of would end up together more than we got in the movies, I would say. So I really liked that moment. What about you?
I'm going to give mine, and then my camera's going to die. I'm being alerted that my camera's going to die. And so this is going to be shorter. I liked, and then, shoot. I really liked at the end whenever, I did not realize that she was shooting the hex at the end. She totally got me. I thought that was really cool little spin in that episode. What about you, Javier?
I think mine was when she went to the property that Vision had bought them, like to live in, to have a future. Like that ended. That was like the heartstrings in the moment. I was like,
Yeah.
oh gosh. And then like you realize all of that grief just bottled up and it just exploded, and it literally, like, you can see how everything came together, all of that, because like of course Hayward wanted to be being Hayward and try to make Wanda the villain, and it's like she stole his body. No, she just wanted a funeral.
Yeah.
It was like that entire scene kind of helped me understand what she was dealing with after the events of Infinity War, because like Endgame actually, sorry. Like she went home and she couldn't do anything about it. She was just like, well, I'm gonna grieve. But it was funny because like she didn't know she was doing these things, but then again she was like, I'm sorry if I caused you any pain, but no one was gonna forgive her in the end. So
yeah, I mean that would be pretty hard, but I mean, whew, I don't know if I could ever look at Wanda the same if I was one of those townspeople.
I know.
But all right, well,
we're good.
We're gonna wrap.
No, we're good. I got changed cameras.
Wrap up here in a second, right, Brad? Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I did. I had another question. Now we're good. Now I swapped cameras, so we're not. That was frightening. A theory from each one of you. I'm not going to give one. A theory of where we're headed.
Javier, you want to take that?
I feel like
it can be anything, Marvel. You try to just tie it. Tie it to the show.
I feel like it definitely, there's a definite like pathway to Doctor Strange 2. Now we don't know what to expect in Doctor Strange 2 is the big thing, because yes, it's called Multiverse of Madness, but we don't know what causes what happens within the multiverse. And I think that ending credit scene where she's over here floating, I feel like she kind of like, she's trying to understand who she is, who the Scarlet Witch is, but I think she's also trying to understand, I think she's trying to get her family back. I don't know if that makes sense. Like in the sense of, so I feel like, I think it was, in an episode, her kids are like yelling out to her like, Mom, Mom.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking like there might be trapped between dimensions. And I feel like she's trying to find a way to get them back, but she ends up tearing a hole through the multiverse. And that ends up spilling into probably Spider-Man 3 and eventually into Doctor Strange 2. So that's my theory, is like she's trying to get her kids back. She opens a reality. She gets them back, but she ends up opening up multiple multiverses, and they start bleeding in between each other.
That's good, man. I mean, I agree with you. I'm trying not to make any crazy theories because they always end up being wrong.
True.
But and I kind of disappoint myself because I have these expectations that I've set, and then reality is not the same. But I'm going to agree with you there. I think that her power will lead to the mutants still. I think that that's going to be a safe bet. I don't know if that'll tie in with, because I know she's confirmed to be in Doctor Strange and all that. I don't know if that'll tie in all together. But I'm going to just go with that. She's going to be the mother of all mutants.
Sweet. The mother of all mutants. That's intense. Yeah, I would say that we'll get into thumbs now. I'm not going to give a theory, but I'm going to say that I am super bummed that none of the stuff that Sean and the whole internet was hoping was going to happen happened in the show. I think it's going to reflect in my thumbs, and which is kind of sad. But let's go episode thumbs. Excuse me, I had a small stroke. But the episode for me, I'll go first. It was fine. This thing's going to suffer for me from cramming everything into the last 3 episodes. But it was cool. I'm going to go 8 thumbs. It didn't do a ton for me like I thought the series was going to do when it finished. What about you, Javier?
I gave it about 9. I think it was a pretty good episode. I think going off of the whole like fan theory thing, I think everyone was expecting, like, especially Evan Peters, like, Quicksilver, like no one was expecting him to be Ralph. You know, they just made him a civilian. Everyone's like, oh, this is Quicksilver. This is how they're going to get the X-Men in. And I was like, and they're like, no. I was like, it was a bummer, but I wasn't super sad about it. I was like, oh, okay, I see what they did there. But like, it wasn't like super like disappointing. I mean, yes, I would like him to be like the first mutant into the MCU, but at the end of the day, there might be other ways for them to come through. So,
yeah.
Nice. Hey, can you guys see the comments coming in?
No.
So there's a Zachary Butler. Does anybody know this guy? Zachary Butler. He's saying Quicksilver is Agatha's husband. Ralph confirmed. JK LOL, but it is funny. I like his little avatar there.
I know.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I got him right there, so
this is true, and I've
of course
got him,
I like him.
Somewhere over here. He wants to join. He wants to join the StreamYard. He wants to join.
Nah, I don't know. Let's just wrap this thing up.
All right, we're already in 23 minutes. All right, Sean, what do you got? Oh, did he give thumbs?
Yeah, I said 9.
9 thumbs. 9 thumbs.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
I'm gonna go 8.5 thumbs, right in the middle. I had planned that. I didn't just on the fly go right in the middle of you guys. Yeah, this episode was good. I really liked it. The beginning, just kind of the pacing of it and everything just kind of held it back for me. But overall, really enjoyable episode. I'm just going to roll right into my series thumbs, and then we'll go Javier and Brad, and we'll finish this up. But series, I'm going to go 8 thumbs because I had set such high expectations for myself. But that's really good still. That's a great show. So
12 episodes gets the job done. That's my opinion. That'll always be what I think about this show.
So, I really enjoyed it. I like where they took the characters, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future with these characters. What's up?
And we got a lot of backstory in general on Wanda. And so, like, if that's all we get, and it was a win. Go ahead, Javier.
So prior to WandaVision releasing, I was actually very skeptical on watching it. Actually, yeah. I wasn't very, when they were promoting it, I wasn't very interested in watching it at first. But I was, being a Marvel, I was like, all right, it's Marvel. I'm gonna give it a chance. Probably put it at about 7.5.
Okay.
And that's just because like episodes 1 and 2, everyone was, I mean, I'm going to be that person. I'll be like 1 and 2 wasn't really the best episode. I get they're trying to start it off and they're trying to give some understanding of what WandaVision will be moving forward. But then like 3 comes around and it's just like, oh, great. You know, episode 3 kind of is like the turning point of everything. And then 4 kind of gives the backstory of like the swords output of everything. So yeah, I'd give it about 7.5. So
Man, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I'm always a little below Sean on these. The eternal optimist, you know, Sean is. I kind of already said it when I interrupted after Sean talked. More episodes gets this thing spread out. We get to find out where White Vision. I mean, just something, you know. I'm 7.5 thumbs here. This could have been a 9 if they had let it breathe a little bit or squished it. I think, like Javier said, I really like. Well, kind of like Javier said, I really liked the way the series started. It really built enough intrigue where I was like, oh, cool. And I wouldn't want more seasons of this, but I would have liked a couple more episodes. So I'm 7.5 thumbs. That gives us, what is that, an average of?
Ooh.
I don't even know. I don't.
Yeah, when you throw in 3, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
I don't know
we'll just say 7.75 thumbs and call it a day. Cool. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching with us today. Tell us what you thought about this live stream and what you thought about WandaVision, the series as a whole. Did you agree with us in our points, or did you disagree and you thought it was the best thing ever? But besides that, we'll see you next time, only from a distance.